and welcome back, guys, to the finale of the Online Racing League Scirroco Cup, guys, here today at the Indianapolis GP circuit. And you can just see, moving on to my fastest qualifying lap, that I am not particularly quick around this track, it was safe to say. I just couldn't find much rhythm as I accidentally trimmed turn one there ever so slightly. But as I said, I couldn't find any rhythm around this circuit, which really damaged me. But, you know, coming into the final race, still a lot of positions I could make up overall in the table. And, you know, hoping just have a couple of good, strong races. I ideally, obviously, wanted to be as high up the lobbies as I possibly could. But, you know, just the aim was to get as many points as I possibly could in the final race of the season. I will be leaving these standings at the end of this video, overall, where I came over on the series. But I think, you know, this series has been really good fun, you know. It's something a bit different. It's something I haven't been particularly strong in whatsoever, you know. Manual without clutch has really cost me throughout this whole season. And I knew coming into it, obviously, that would be a big issue for myself. But, you know, I think I might actually be one of the top manual without clutch runners overall in the series. You know, I can still be happy about that. But coming then into the final sector of my fastest qualifying run, it hasn't been a perfect lap. There has been a couple of tiny trims here and there, but nothing that's really gained me any sort of time. And coming through the final corner, though, you know, you just got to try and get as close to the curb as you possibly can and just maintain as much speed down towards the line. And coming out, do actually get quite a nice exit there, and you just got to go as close to the wall as you can. Open up the run down towards the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 33.089, which really was quite a poor lap there. That left me, I think, sort of mid-pack B lobby, and there was only two lobbies tonight. But we got Kieran on pole in B lobby there. ACR0, one of his best friends in the whole wide world, in second. LeChuck SC in third place, obviously someone that we've seen most of the season. Tisky up in P4. Then I have myself, sorry, not myself actually, another green car of Martin up in P5. Some of you might remember him from AOR. GTR Kabuki up in P6. There I actually am down in P7 there, so not a strong result for myself. I've got Swifty RSE down in P8 with a very, very basic car there. Steve Dog 9th, and then we've got Pugnor up in P10. That's someone that's really just come to this series at the very end. VBR Swift down in P11. We got Quantum Logic up in P12 as well there. Fairly good result from him. Turfy Light down in P13 there. Macho Kid 1995 down in P14. And then last but definitely not least, GB Omnitheus there. Right at the very back of the field. But we're going to be heading off at 3 minutes 10 for the first race of the evening, guys. And it's lights out and away we go. And off to a fairly standard start there. You know, I don't think anyone really gained much time there. I got a slightly better run than Kabuki there, but unfortunately on the upshift, I lost all the momentum I'd gained there. Trying to go down towards the inside there, but Swifty is going to go straight down my inside there. So, you know, I'm going to give him the room on the inside. They're going to go right back out to the outside into turn one. They're trying to look around the outside of Martin and Kabuki there, but they just run me out of road. But I do try and move past Martin there. A tiny bit of contact I think might have been made, but we do move up to P7 there. We actually hold on to my grid position there. Try and go for the undercut move on Martin there, but he parks it very nicely on the apex there, so well done to him. But, you know, we just got to try and make up positions in the early stages of the race. You know, it's the final race of the season. A lot of people are willing to go for a lot of risks, because I'm pretty certain people don't get penalised carrying on into next season. So, you know, we might be seeing some rash moves there, but I think that was Kabuki going a little bit sideways there, and Martin trying to look around his outside. I'm going to go for the switchback move on the pair of them there. The switchback was sort of my move of the evening. I tried to do it so many times, but Kabuki there, I do push him out a little bit wide, which actually gave him a much better run than I actually anticipated. I was trying to slip down his inside, but then all in all, I actually just ended up helping him there. As now we're going to try and have a look around the outside of Martin, down towards turn one. I actually had quite a good top-end speed car here, which is just the shifts that really lacked for me. And I'll try and have a look around the outside of Martin there. He brakes very, really late. Swifty there, no idea what that was all about. Just completely chucked it up the inside of Kabuki there. A massively poorly timed move there. But we now hold on to P7 somehow out of that. And Swifty has actually kept the positions from that. So not really too sure what that's all about. But we do end up holding on to my grid position there, as we're now in a Swift sandwich, but behind VVR Swift as well. And coming down this long back straight, you know, hopefully I can try and close back in on him as quickly as I can. And now moving on to the end of lap 2 here. And we're still right behind Swift. And hopefully, you know, down towards turn 1. We could get a good run on him. I'm not too sure whether he runs manual with clutches. We get a very good run nicely up to the wall on the exit of the final corner there. And we are in the slipstream. And hopefully, you know, down towards turn 1. I can try and think about going for a move. But, you know, he's just that little bit too far ahead. and I think better of it there. He actually brakes a little bit late. So coming down into turn 1, I'm going to try and go for a switchback through turn 2 there. It works out very well. I get nicely alongside him there, but I'm still on the outside for turn 3, so I'm going to go again for yet another switchback there. Brake nice and early into the corner there. Swift tries to defend from me there, tries to park it on the inside, but I do manage to slip up the inside. Up into P6 I go as he pushes me out over the chicane there, you know, and up into P6 we go now, and hopefully this should leave me in quite a good position. You know, the guys up ahead of me are still fighting quite closely there, but unfortunately by the end of the race I wasn't able to close up on the rest of the field there. So P6 in the first race of the evening. A fairly decent result from myself. Kieran wins the race there. Very, very happy for him. But we come through. Ups, you know, we actually made positions obviously from the start, but you know, it could have gone a lot better for myself in the early stage there. But you know, we can still be happy with that result. But let's move on then into the second race of the night, and I think we're going to be going at 3 minutes 40 for this race, starting down in P10, so obviously a bit further down the field, and hopefully, you know, we can have a final good showing out in these Scirrocos, guys. But it's lights out, and away we go, but Omnitheus there decides he's not going to go, so we move straight past him, up for P9 there. You can see we got, I think, Martin there, trying to have a look down the inside of someone, but LeChuck gets an absolutely brilliant run down towards turn 1 there. I think he's going to move straight back past me there, so I've ended up holding on to track position there. Turfy Light on the outside, going a little bit late there, but I try and hold it down the inside of LeChuck. That was really poor by myself, you know, I should have backed out of that. Had to trim over the corner slightly there, but Macho Kid completely comes across me there. Not too sure what that was all about. It doesn't help the fact he got punted out wide by someone else there, but I try and move back past him there, as he, I think, is fairly slow in these cars, so I go back round his outside, back up into P14 there, and now it's me and Kieran right at the very back here. So now hopefully we can try and work together to try and carve our way through the field in this race. You know, there's still a lot of fighting just ahead of me there. Everyone seems to be too wide. I'm just going to try and take the normal racing line into the corner there, but Kieran tries to thread the needle between a couple of people there, makes a little bit of contact as I go right around the outside of everyone there. Move back up into P12 there, as Omnitheus now just up the road from me. And coming now into the next corner there, Omnitheus gets a very good run there. He tries to have a look down the inside of Turfy Light there, and that's really helped me out. You know, I'm able to get a good run on the pair of them here as we come down in towards the final chicane there. Turfy Light brakes incredibly early on the outside there, so I'm able to move past him. There's even more bumping and bashing, as I think ACR0 was lagging slightly there, pushed someone out wide, and now coming into the final corner there, Kieran goes down the inside with 3 wide. Through the second to last corner there, I end up holding on to track position there, as Omnitheus gets a little bit of a lag punt from Zero. I'm able to move up past him as well now, you know, sort of forcing my way through. But, you know, we've made the position stick there with minimal amounts of contact. And now coming down this long front straight, you know, Omnitheus with that manual clutch, able to look right around my outside down towards turn 1. You know, we're still side by side. I'm going to be slightly later on the brakes there, take a very nice apex on turn 1 there. They're 3 wide just up ahead of me as well. And hopefully, you know, I can benefit from that. But, you know, we've got Kieran still right on my gearbox here. And coming down into turn 3, they're trying to get a very nice run through the corner there. Kieran gives me a little bit of a tap, but I do end up getting a very nice run out of that corner there. And that leaves me a little bit closer to 0 than I started off there. But they're still going 3 wide just ahead of me there. And, it might come to blows very, very quickly there. And hopefully for me, I can benefit from that. But coming down into the next corner there, be closing massively on 0 there. Someone's run massively wide. No idea who that is, but I'm just going to try and nip around the outside of them. Barely missed them there as they skin right back across the track there. It did cost me a little bit of time there, and Kieran gets right back on my gearbox there, but no idea how I just about avoided that. You know, it was a little bit of luck there, but I did try to time it so I could try and get around his outside there. But coming now down into the final chicane, Kieran might try and go for a move down the inside of it there. He does actually go for it. You know, we got VBR Swift as well, running massively wide just up the road there. But I'm going to hold it down the inside of Kieran into the final corner there. I tried to squeeze him out a little bit wide through the final corner there, but he's just going to be able to hold it up the inside there. I'm going to run a little bit wide out of the corner there. Get a little bit on the grass there, just on the exit, but he tries to give me a little bit squeezed down towards the wall. But I do get a better run out of the corner there. And with slightly longer gears, it does mean I level out a little bit of the manual clutch issue down this long front straight. You know, we're still side by side and coming down in towards turn 1 there. I'm going to try and brake later. We're still side by side. VBR Swift runs massively wide. I'm going to have to back out there, as unfortunately he was going to squeeze me off there. But Swift and Kieran both run wide there. I make a little bit of contact with Kieran, but I do now move up into P6 there, as LeChuck and GTR Tiski have made a little bit of contact there. They both lose a massive amount of time from that. Zero's able to nip past the pair of them. I'm going to try and be opportunistic as well and look past LeChuck as we come down towards the next corner, as we are now side by side with him down towards the braking zone, and I think we should be able to get him into the corner there, you know, spamming down the gears just with that red line in there. We take a little bit too much curb, but we do now move up into P5. There is Tisky and Zero, and now squabbling just up the road. I get a very good run through turn 3 there, and now coming down towards this long back straight. Am I going to be able to get a good run on the pair of them? You know, Kieran is now the next car behind me, you know, but Tisky probably got a slightly better straight line speed car than Zero at this moment in time. I'm doing a little bit of a wiggle, just, you know, make sure they know I'm here. Tisky goes down the inside of Zero. Not a particularly brilliant dive bomb there by himself, you know, if he'd been able to park it on the apex, that would have worked quite nicely for him there. But I now slip down the inside of Tisky there. Kieran then goes down the inside of me into the next corner. Very interesting move from him. I give Tisky a little bit of a push there, you know, give him a little extra straight line speed. And now we unfortunately back down to P6, but you know, it's still looking strong at this moment in time. So we skip on to the end of lap 6 here. And you've got Tisky and Zero, Kieran and Zero running side by side with Tisky just behind. But Zero there, he's not happy the fact Kieran's got past there. He's going to try and go for a bit of a dive bomb down towards turn 1 there. And you know, they are actually going to come to blows just up ahead of me there, as they go for a very interesting attack on each other there. But coming into the next corner though, I'm just going to try and undercut absolutely everyone here, you know, try and go for switchback moves where I can. Swifty there, Kieran goes down his inside and he just pushes him onto the grass there, not too sure what that was all about. And now we've got a very good run on all 4 of them there. It's Tisky run a little bit wide. Zero has a twitch over the curbs that I end up going down the inside and keeping them both on the circuit there. You know, I actually had to turn back in on Tisky there, so all 3 of us could stay on the track. But coming down into the next corner though, Zero's going to try and go down the inside. Tisky turns into the corner as well there. They all make contact as Swifty goes across Kieran there, and I now make 3 positions up in that one corner. So, you know, it all came to blows for everyone else, and just keeping my nose clean on these laps has really helped me, you know, and now we're right behind Swifty. And obviously we had a little bit of an incident during race 1, but hopefully, you know, I can try and dispatch him fairly quickly. You know, I was able to close in on him quite nicely on these last couple of laps here. So, you know, coming down into the final chicane then, what am I able to do? He's incredibly late on the brakes, but running incredibly wide, costing himself a lot of time. And coming now through the final couple of corners, am I going to be able to try and get a good run on the exit there? I do try and get a good run, but he's, you know, he's defending all right at the moment. You know, he's positioning his car in the right places there, but I get a better run out of the final corner there. But he's got very long gears on his Scirroco there, so coming down towards turn 1, you know, he's going to be able to pull away a little bit of a margin over me here. But, you know, hopefully, you know, we can't give up yet. There's still 2 laps to go in this race. You know, P2 is definitely on the cards as we come down towards turn 1. He runs a little bit wide there, but coming through turn 2, he brakes massively early there. Not really too sure what that was all about. You know, I think that might have been a little bit of a brake check there, because, you know, he definitely didn't get anywhere near the exit curbs there. But Zero tries to go down my inside there. I just about hold it around the outside of him, and we still hold on to P3 here. And a podium position in the final race of the season would be very nice, but, you know, you don't know how many positions you could gain overall in the standings if I make up 1 more place in this final race of the series, guys. And hopefully, you know, I can try and get right back on Swifty's gearbox here. You know, he just runs massively wide into the next corner there, so really struggling to position his car on the racetrack here. You know, he's all over the shop through this next chicane there. I'm just going to try and go for, once again, the switchback of dreams, as Zero once again tries to stick his nose down the inside of me. Able to get quite a good run through onto the final sector of the lap there, and Swifty still just putting his car just about where he needs to be on this second to last lap here. You know, down the inside, we think about going for it down into the final chicane there. Swifty runs wide into the corner there. We're going to be going side by side into the final couple of corners there, but he just doesn't turn in where I expected him to. Then he can't save his front wheel drive, completely takes out 2 other drivers there. Not really too sure what that was all about. Omnitheist just appears out of nowhere there, and somehow I still managed to hold it down around the inside of him there. But, you know, not really too sure what that was all about. You know, I tried to turn in for the corner there. Swifty did a bit of a Rosberg from Austria there. And we do now hold on 2 P4s. There's a couple of guys just up ahead of you there. I think it's Pugnall and Zero. And, you know, P4, you know, I was really wanted the podium in this final race of the series, you know. But hopefully, you know, it's still been a very good series overall. You know, I've really enjoyed it. And, you know, these last couple of races have been really aggressive, really good fun for once. And, you know, we've got Kieran still right on my gearbox here, you know, I need to look out for as well. But I think P4 is probably going to be all we're able to do on this final race of the season. They're obviously made up 6 positions from the start of the race. You know, we can still be very happy with that. We've got Puggernaut and Zero still squabbling just ahead of me there, but no chance they're going to be able to make the positions on them as long as they keep it clean there. But Zero makes contact with Puggernaut there. I'm able to move down the inside of the pair of them there. Back up into P2 we go. Kieran moves through for P3 as well there, and that's going to be 10th to 2nd in the final race of the series there. That's going to be a very good result right at the very end. I'm very happy with that overall, you know, and as I was saying, you know, this series has been really good fun overall, really enjoyable, you know, properly good, close, you know, there's been a little bit of contact here and there. There's definitely been some interesting overtaking manoeuvres throughout this whole series, but, you know, it's been very enjoyable on the whole. And obviously we've got the Corvettes coming up next. I probably won't be signing up. I think there are talks that the potential of a Megane series coming up next, which I probably won't sign up to. I'm going to focus on sort of more GT racing from now on this game there, guys. But, you know, the final race of the season, P2 overall there. Kabuki wins the race. There's the final standings as well. But having a look then overall at the points from the whole series there, and I am actually up in P18 overall. There we have Ben doing very well up in P9 there, with Kai up in P13 there, Kieran 16th, myself down in P18 there. So actually EVR Motorsport B did actually do worse than the other 2 teams there. Isaac, unfortunately, consistency couldn't mean he could race very often there, guys. But P18 I can still be very happy with overall. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.
So promise that you'll catch me.